All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Agent Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Shireman, and I'm super excited about this week's podcast because we're going to be talking about things that I've learned over the last 17 years of being in marketing, owning a business, being a real estate agent, and just being a human being. And talk about all of my successes, my failures as well, that you can learn from those. So if you're new to this podcast, this is exactly what it sounds. It's Agent Growth Podcast. I want to give back, give experience, bring in people that are top in their industry so you can learn from them as well. And so some episodes it'll be just me, and some episodes I will bring on some really awesome guests. So if you again are new to this, go ahead and subscribe, follow depending on what platform you're on. If you're on YouTube or on a platform that lets you comment, please comment down below what you love about this podcast and maybe something you would like to see me cover, a topic, anything that I can help and give back to my audience what they really need help with. So go ahead and like, subscribe, do all those fun things so we can continue to get this podcast out there and I can know if you guys are actually liking this or not. So I want to go ahead and dive into today and talk about some things that I've learned out of as a past. So if you're new to this podcast, again, my background is 17 plus years in marketing. And my specialty has always been web design, SEO, and social media and things like that. And I've taken that marketing background and recently, 3 years ago, got my real estate license here in Texas. I'm in the Houston, Texas area. And I've been in real estate longer than that, but officially licensed here in Texas has been a little over 3 years. I got licensed in January of 2021. And I quickly, during COVID, figured out there is a real kind of industry for marketing in real estate because a lot of agents are what I call the shiny object syndrome, and they're constantly purchasing everything they can just to kind of compete out of desperation with other real estate agents. Because let's be honest, the bar is very low to get into the real estate industry, and the bar is still really low to stay in the industry. So but my background, like I said, started when I got out of college. I went to college for e-business, and then I had a minor in sacred piano. Yes, I do play the piano. I played for over 31 years since I was 8 years old. And tomorrow, at the recording of this podcast, is my birthday. So that bumps it up to another year for me. And I also minored in Spanish. So I do speak Spanish. I've lived in other countries like Mexico, Venezuela. I've been in El Salvador for a while. And then obviously home here in Houston, which is like living in another country. And so, that was my minor in college was Spanish. And then I quickly got out and worked for Eglin Air Force Base, managing a portal for all of their engineers that design the weapons defense systems for the Air Force. And then I quickly transitioned into financial services. I was life insurance licensed. I've been property and casualty licensed, mortgage licensed, investment licensed, and I basically helped people with, asset management, preparing for the future, getting out of debt, refinancing their homes, things like that. So I have experience, which is really interesting that it led me to real estate later on. I even owned my own piano studio. Quite a while. I had one of the top studios in that area, had over 35 piano students on top of working at the Air Force Base and learning financial services in the meantime. So then I transitioned I worked very briefly for a web design company, learned how they did things, and even helped improve their systems. And when I realized, hey, I don't get anything for this, just a small paycheck, I quickly transitioned myself into running my own marketing company and partnered with people over the years, and then eventually went out on my own and then have my marketing company, High Five Biz Solutions. And that's where I'm at today. And now I'm at eXp Realty. I have over 40 agents in my organization right now at the time of this recording. And I'm growing a group, about to start a local real estate team as well. Super excited about that. We're in the works to see if it's going to happen or not. And then I also still practice real estate, obviously, to show my team that, I can still do business. So my main things at this point are my marketing company and running my real estate group and, handling my marketing clients. So out of all of that experience that I've had various, experience across different industries. And I love that because one, it's always allowed me to relate to clients. Again, I told you in the last podcast or last episode that, I played piano for a Hispanic church for over 8 years. And so all these different experiences, these different cultures has made me a better salesperson too, because I'm able to connect with people, to relate with people. And so all these past life experiences, good and bad, are what make you who you are today. So it's those mindset things that, God or the universe, whoever you believe in, I feel like God prepares you for the things that he has for you. And you need to learn all of those experiences. So that's what I want to share with you today. Some of the things that I've learned that I see other agents struggle with, other people struggle with, that I struggled with. And I don't want you to have to go through that. Just like a parent says, learn from my mistakes. I exactly want you to do that. And if I can save you money or time or get you to your goal faster, that is my number one mission for doing this podcast, doing YouTube, helping agents, is really, I want to give back and help somebody get somewhere faster than I did. And so some of the things I learned. So as a business owner, like I've told you, I owned my own piano studio. I've had my marketing company. I had a photo booth company as well until COVID pretty much killed that. And then on top of that, I have a real estate business. So I've had my hands in various industries, and both successful, some not. And that's a great learning experience. So one of the biggest things that I have learned in any business that I have been in, and it took me a while to learn this, by the way, it didn't come naturally because I naturally want to control everything. It's just who I am. I want to make sure things are done right. And I honestly don't want to ask for help. So that's the biggest thing for me. So one of the biggest things, and I honestly didn't start learning this until I got into real estate. And I think it's one of the things that kept my marketing company from growing even bigger, was I needed to learn how to be a generalist in my business, not a specialist. So when you start out, you kind of start out as a specialist. A specialist is kind of that employee mindset where we have one thing we're really good at and we have to be the one to do that. And so that's very dangerous when you own a business and you want to own a true business. We've talked about this with real estate agents. A lot of real estate agents are self-employed. A lot of business owners are self-employed because they are the business. The moment they step back from their business, whether it's a family emergency, a vacation, they don't make money. Their business stops essentially. So how you overcome that is you become a business. If in real estate, you'd grow a team or you'd own your brokerage. So that way, if you took vacation or time off, you have people out there bringing in revenue. If you owned a marketing company, you would have other people making the sales calls, doing the work, so you can step back, oversee it, and operate. And what happens a lot, even in my marketing business, I still get like this where nobody does a website like I want them to do. And they might do it 80% the way I want to do it, but it's not 100%. And so when I was studying for my real estate license, one of the things that the instructor said in the marketing portion of that business was, you need to be a generalist. You cannot specialize in everything. And one of the great examples they gave was Ford, when he started, Henry Ford, when he started his company, he got called in front of a court. And I don't remember the whole detail of the story, but they were basically asking him why he did certain things, that he wasn't educated, he wasn't an engineer, but he said, no, I put the smartest people in the room with me. And so that's how he's able to run his business, is because of the people he put in his business. And so a lot of times, especially as a real estate agent, we think we have to wear 20 hats and we don't want to relinquish control because we're afraid people are going to mess up our business. But if people are trained correctly, if you have somebody that does 70% of what you can do, and then you have another person doing 70% of what you can do, you're going to be fine. And so in our business, we need to learn and step back and relinquish control. So maybe that's hiring a showing agent or a transaction coordinator that you pay at closing if it closes. Little things like that. Having somebody do your lead follow-up. One of the biggest things I learned was, and we'll get into this a little more, but I'm not great at follow-up. So when we started buying Google Ads, we hired an ISA company here in the States to call those leads within 5 minutes, because we knew the importance that if we didn't, they would move on to the next realtor. And it really helped increase our numbers. It helped increase our conversion. So finding things like that, to step back, finding somebody that's really good at what they do and letting them do it, and you stand back and grow your business. So Don't try to do everything yourself, all the admin work, all the social media posting. Don't go learn how to build a website. Budget is one thing, but you need to save for that, use what you got. And then once you get a deal, put it in there. Because how are you going to learn something in 20 to 40 hours that took me 17 years to learn and master? It's impossible. It's just like you trying to operate on yourself. This is where agents and business owners get themselves in trouble. Well, I'll learn how to do it myself to save money. And you spend more time doing that. One of my old bosses, when I was in financial services, because we were all basically like real estate agents, we were independent contractors. And he told me, why are you mowing the lawn? You can get somebody to do that for $30, $40 and maybe an hour or two, so you make more than $40 if you're out on an appointment. Don't take your Saturday to go mow your yard. Yeah, it might be great exercise, things like that, but don't waste your time doing tasks when you could give that job and income to somebody else and you can go make more income. So there's little things that you need to farm out and learn how to do that. Another thing that I've learned in business, and I have adapted this, but sometimes I tried to make everything perfect. Again, I like to be in control. Is another thing is you just got to get started. I see this a lot with real estate agents as well, and these kind of overlap each other. Is real estate agents spend so much time trying to develop the perfect system, the perfect YouTube video, the perfect Instagram post, learn all the documents and everything instead of just getting started. The one thing that's really helped me excel in real estate and learn how to do deals. And by my third deal, I knew most of the contracts myself. Even on the first deal, my mentor would tell me, I really didn't help you with much, because once he showed me, I asked a lot of questions and I knew, but I just got started. I filled out as much of that document as I could myself. And then I sent it to him. I didn't wait for him to show me how to fill it out. I tried to figure out like common sense, like what goes in these blanks. Because one of those things that I'm very bad about when I have employees or people helping me is I do it for them instead of letting them do it. And so just getting started helps you to do it so you'll remember it. We're so worried about making a mistake. And yes, there are some big mistakes you can make, and you don't want to make certain mistakes as an agent. But sometimes you just don't learn until you just get started. So don't wait for, having all of your channels set up, all of that. One of the biggest things I tell agents, just get started. Here at EXP, you have to do 3 deals to graduate from the mentor program. I just tell them, go get 3 deals. Doesn't matter how you get them, figure it out. And then as you're going, we have a 90-day fast start plan. If you want access to that, reach out to me. We did a live seminar of that, and there's a recorded version that you can purchase. So if you want something like that, maybe you're stuck, you're wanting to launch or relaunch, go get that, because it really helps you kind of figure out what you need to do in the first 30 days, then the next 30 days, and then the final 30 days to help you scale your business. But just get started. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Just get started. If you have that business idea, just start. No software, Windows, where we're at with whatever, Windows 11, they didn't wait to have all these features and all these great things to launch. They started with, what was it, Windows 3.1 or whatever it was. And then we were Windows 95, Windows 98, all of that. They just got started, and you don't know what you don't know until you kind of mess up a little bit, or every transaction is different. So just get started. Every business idea is different. Just get started. If you have a great idea, it came into your mind and it makes you excited about it, go start. And then you might find out whether it worked or not, but you're going to learn valuable insight that's going to carry you throughout business. Another thing is, do one thing at a time. We get so overwhelmed as business owners, as real estate agents, that we try to do everything at once. So my goal is, if you're going to start on social media, pick one platform: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is. Don't do it all. So, I usually tell people, if you're great at video, start with YouTube first, because YouTube, you can break up that content. You can take that long form content, throw it in a blog, throw it up on Opus Clip. And I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. Go check it out on the AI playlist. You can take your unedited YouTube video, throw it into Opus Clip, and it will create 10 or more shorts that you can throw up on social media. But whatever you're choosing, pick the platform where your audience is at. So let's say you're going to choose one social media platform to start on. If you're dealing with 55 and over community, I would choose Facebook. Create a Facebook page, stick to that. If you're looking for, your average market of first time home buyers, maybe 25 to 35 or 25 to 40, that's who you're going after. I would be on Instagram. Okay. If you're going to start with a short form, I probably start with TikTok, and then, take that TikTok that you edited, throw it up on IG later on. But you could just start with one platform, one step at a time, go through that checklist and then get it done. But you're still building your business at that time. So if you're a business owner, I know you're worried about payroll and you're worried about all of these things. Just get started with your business. You need sales. You need to get going. You need to develop your product, get something up. Even with a website, I would try to wait till I had this huge website instead of just like a beautiful one page that explained what we do and having them contact me. Most people aren't going to click around. They're not going to read what you wrote. Why would I try to go create a 30-page website and break up all the services and have a full page of content on all services? That's something you can do over time. Plus, that's great for your SEO as well, because you're adding new content all the time. So don't try to have a 100% completed project to just get started and to feel like you have to do everything at once. Okay. Learn to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help, especially people above you. Okay. So ask for help, ask people's advice. But again, we'll talk about this later, be careful who you ask advice from. So don't be afraid to ask for help, whether, let's say you're an agent. Okay. And you have so many deals that you're having to turn down deals. And I've met agents like this. Don't turn away business. Have somebody you can either refer the business to, bring on another agent to partner with you. Okay. You can co-list things with and let them take the listing so you guys can split those referrals. Maybe you get a showing agent. Maybe you learn how to systemize, which is my next point, is systemizing things. Maybe you systemize your buyer's presentation, your listing presentation, get a lot of that stuff out of the way so you're not spending an hour on your appointment. They've already watched all the basic information. So when you go to that listing appointment, you're there to build a relationship, see the house. Same thing with the buyer's consultation. You go over that intake form and you ask further questions, connect with them, move on. So now your hour appointment went to 30 minutes. Find things to do that. Transaction coordinator, get in a VA, get a virtual assistant to help you with admin stuff, keeping your schedule, basic emails, using stuff like Zapier. So this asking for help and systemizing kind of go hand in hand, because you do need help. You cannot do this alone in any business, because it's a lot to do. And sometimes we don't have the funds necessarily to hire people. So finding things like Zapier and automating, I have lots of videos on that. Finding ways that you're cutting down this redundancy. So recording some videos, sending those out and say, hey, can you please watch this before our appointment? And then having forms that can automatically collect that information so you're not spending time on the phone with them, and that automatically emails them to the next step. So ask for help, systemize your business. One of the things to help you systemize your business and automate it is write down every task that you're doing in your business, every little task. I mean, if it's just picking up a pen and write a note, write down everything you're doing and then go through it and figure out which things you can automate that are redundant, that anybody can do, that it doesn't have to be you doing it. And then figure out, is this something I can use Zapier for, that I can set up an email automation, I can hire an assistant for? Figure that out, what you can automate, and then put an order of importance. What are some easy things that you can knock out right away that will save you time, that you don't have to spend a lot of time automating it or hiring somebody to automate it for you? Knock that out. And then the more complicated ones, then you can seek out advice and ask for help, hire somebody. But you don't know what you don't know. So if you try to think, okay, what can I automate right now? No, as you're doing stuff, write down everything you do. Start hitting record on the screen when you go to upload something, because that becomes your SOPs when you hire somebody. It's already done. You can talk in there, explain why you're doing it. One, it'll help you kind of clean up what you're doing. And then it'll help you just tell somebody, hey, go watch these videos. This is how I do it. Learn from it. If you have any questions, let me know. And that way you're not spending time training them, because you've already recorded what you're doing. So there's so much you can do. And this one's going to go in both sections, and it's because I really wanted to hit home. Be very careful who you take advice from. Okay. I've learned this the hard way. I'll give you a good example. Is one of my first relationships, real relationships outside of college. And my dad as well said the same thing. So I thought, well, maybe, God's trying to tell me something. And one of it was, go get a real job. I was working. I had worked on the Air Force Base. I let it go because it was really a far drive, and they weren't paying me what I wanted. And so my piano studio really took off. I had one mom, I told her in Gulf Breeze, and this is kind of just shows you to get started. She said, "Oh, I really want you to come to our house and teach a lesson." And I told her, "Hey, look, I'm not driving out there just for one lesson for $25 a week. Sorry." Um, and so I told her, "Hey, if you can get me other students out there, I will come in that same neighborhood." That lady knew most of those people in the neighborhood, and it was a very nice neighborhood, so they could afford the lessons. And she got almost everybody on that street. I think I had 10 students within the first 2 weeks. She had me 5 the first week and then kept going on promoting it at the school. And so soon that whole area of Gulf Breeze, I took lessons. I had 35 students. I was making probably about 2,500 to 3,000 a month. And my partner at the time, and then my dad was saying the same thing. You need to go get a real job. You don't have benefits, but insurance back then was like $200-300 a month. You got to pay for it at your job anyways. And they're like, this is not stable. You're not making enough. I was making more than I could at any job right out of college. And on top of that, I was working 15 hours a week. It was great. I'd work 5 hours a day. I worked from like 3, sometimes 2 to 7, sometimes 3 to 7, no Saturdays, no weekends, Monday through Friday. And it was great. And I had tuition coming in. They paid the month up front, whether they canceled the lesson or not, just like you would at a school. And it really paid off. But then I quit that to go work at an internet company, working the tech department, then working in retention, which it worked out because it's where it took me in life, just to get a real job, making $12 an hour plus commission on, the phones. And then on top of that, I worked 40 hours just to get insurance. And so I lost money in that. I would have been cheaper for me to keep working for myself and have my own insurance that's not tied to whether I keep my job or not. And so, because I listened to people who knew nothing about working for themselves, that only listened to the negativity they hear on TV, they absolutely knew nothing in there. If I wanted to ask my dad, how do I go find a place to work for? My dad has worked for the same place since he was 18, and he's about to turn 65 this summer. And so he's worked for the same place. They've been bought out several times, but he's always kept his job, and he's never known anything but that. If I wanted to ask my dad about that, what do you do to stick around so you don't get phased out? I'm going to ask him that. But when it comes to business advice, I don't take his advice. There's other people that give me advice that tell me, what college I should go to, and they never went to college, or what job I should get, and they never had a job, stay at a home mom. So why would I take advice from them? I want to take advice from people who are doing what I want to do and then are successful at it. So I want to find coaches and mentors that are a few steps above me that are wanting to pull me up. Because one thing I've noticed, people that are truly successful and happy, they have never told me, "Oh my God, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that this way?" No, they give me solid advice and they truly want to help pull me up with them. But instead, sometimes I hook onto people that want to pull me down to where they're at. Because why? Because they're insecure and I'm an example of their failures, because they didn't have the guts to take the risk like you did or like I did by starting that business, working for myself, getting away from the 9 to 5, or getting your real estate license. It might be a saturated market. Don't listen to people. If you have the go-getter attitude, there is plenty of business here. Most real estate agents will fail. 87% of real estate agents fail in the first 5 years. And I think it's like 78% fail in the first year. Plenty of opportunity for you. You just got to wait it out. Okay. So be careful who you're taking advice from and who you are letting influence your mood as well. Now, I want to talk about some things that I've learned since becoming a real estate agent, which was total different business than I'm usually used to. And so one thing too that I learned was your brokerage matters. I took this very serious. It took me like 2-3 months to choose my brokerage, and we started early. And I knew I needed somebody. I'm smart, and I know that, and that's not a bragging thing. Like, I can figure things out. My brain is wired that way. I knew how I could get leads. I know how to run ads. I've been in marketing. So that stuff I did not need help with. I needed to learn how to be an agent and the right business opportunity. I've told you, I never wanted to get into real estate. It was my spouse that wanted to get into real estate. And when he got his license, I actually got it before him, and I took over the whole thing. He's still working his job. He got a great promotion. Makes sense. He loves what he does. And so I'm the one that's taking over the real estate. I'm doing the transaction. We're closing one on this month. I've got a team of 40 agents and we're growing. And so I took off with it because I saw a true business plan. Because I told him, if we're going to go into real estate, we're going to become brokers because I want a business. I don't want to be a self-employed real estate agent with that joke that they expire, they don't retire. If we're going to do this, we're getting away from the self-employed business and building passive streams of income. When I spoke that into existence, boom, there was EXP right there. Somebody sent me a video. I didn't even go with that person. I did my research, joined the Wolf Pack under Mike Sherrard and Tharmila Rajasingham, and best choice I ever made because they gave me a foundation, EXP with 80 plus hours of training. You pay $85 a month and you get a CRM that's worth $650 a month that my real estate marketing clients pay for, at other brokerages. And so education for a new agent was super important. They also had where you had 3 deals with a mentor. Wasn't a whole year like some other ones that I talked to where you pay 10% no matter what to the mentor. That guy hasn't done a deal in 10 years. My mentors were top producers in my area that I pay a 10% split and the other 10% goes to the mentor program. So for the extra first few transactions, I had to give up an extra 20% to learn. And I chose my mentor. I got to interview them. I got to interview them and choose them. They didn't have a choice with me. I just asked if they had availability and I was able to choose my mentor. And it was the best decision I ever made because I'm still friends with that mentor. Now I give him marketing advice. He still gives me some, real estate advice. We have that relationship with each other. He taught me the way I needed to be taught. So your brokerage matters, your mentors and your coaches matter too, because these are the people that can get you faster, help you keep those blinders on to not fall prey to all of these. Get my system, I get my system. You don't need anybody's system. You don't even need my systems. If you have the right brokerage, especially like EXP, they give you enough to get started. I've seen people that still only use what EXP provides. And there's an agent in Canada who is the top agent in Canada doing 254 deals a year with the same stuff EXP provides, adapted her own system to it, mom of 7, and does that all as a solo agent because she's systemized, she asked for help, and she just used what the tools are given. So mentor matters, coaches matter. If you'd love to learn more about that, you can go to jacobshireman.com/realtors or click the partner with me button on jacobshireman.com and you can book a one-on-one call with me to see what your brokerage, whether it's your brokerage, your team, or you as a new or an experienced agent would look like here with all the amazing resources we have. And those are listed on my site. I feel like we have one of the best value stacks out of any brokerage out there. And I feel like my group has the best value stack in all of EXP. So go see why other agents are joining us, but choose the right mentors and coaches. And EXP might not be right for you, and that's all right. Find the brokerage and the team that matters, and that's really going to help you where you're weak in, not where you're strong in, where you're weak in, and really go for that. And then another thing, again, just get started. Don't wait to have all these perfect systems, all your ducks in a row. Just freaking get started and learn what you need to learn. Focus on getting some deals, learn how to do those contracts, plug into all those things, but don't be paralyzed with this analysis paralysis and never get started. Just get started. Just get off your butt and go get started. Okay. Again, do one system at a time. Get out there. If you start out putting your leads in a spreadsheet, that's okay. You've got a spreadsheet. Have your leads somewhere. Don't put them on a Post-it note in a notebook. Get somewhere systemized so you can upload them. Then go learn your KV Core or whatever platform you're using. If you have a KV Core course, Tharmila Rajasingham has the best KV Core course. I will put her link below. I'm actually going to have her on and talk about some of those things that drive her crazy about what people do with CRMs. And so you can better help yourself with your CRM. But go get something like that will teach you how to use it. And then just do one system at a time, getting it set up. But get started, get out there, go to open houses by yourself. You don't need to go with your mentor. Go cruise open houses, tell them that you're looking, just looking for clients and learning what inventory is out there. Do those little things each day, but one thing at a time. And trust me, you'll blink and a year has gone by and you'll be a better realtor for it. Okay. And then, like I said, you don't have to do it all. Ask for help, learn how to systemize things, book consultations with somebody like me that can help you build a system that can help you automate your business. I have coaching, I have real estate websites, I have Google business profiles set up. We have all the things that you need, full service marketing company to help you. And you can get all those products and bundle it with coaching so you know how to really do it. And or partner with me at EXP and you get all of that stuff for free. I show you how to do it with all of our courses. And on top of that, you get me as a coach free of charge as well. So remember, you don't have to do it. Another thing is to set boundaries with your clients. And if you have a team, with your team as well, whoever you're working with, any business, set boundaries. You don't have to answer the phone call at midnight. If you're one of those agents, say, I'll answer any time of the day. No. Now, if your deal's hanging by a thread, you got forms that need to get submitted, yes, you need to make yourself available. But you set boundaries. If you work 9 to 6, 9 to 6. That call can wait. You can look at it tomorrow. That doesn't make people want to work with you because you'll answer phone. It just shows you that you have nothing else better to do. And to me, it makes you look like a discount agent. You need to keep yourself available during your business hours, but don't feel like you have to answer them right away. Learn how to rate it on the priority scale of things. Again, if you're near to getting to the closing table and it's touch and go, make yourself available, but it doesn't have to be the norm as well. Okay. Set those boundaries, especially if you're a buyer agent. You should be showing 32 houses. Say, we're going to go look at 5 houses, and have those 5 houses. Those are ones that you say, I know I'm going to put an offer on one of these 5, and then have them rate them. But don't just, be a glorified taxi and showing them houses. Niche down as well. People are so scared that they're going to lose out on money that they're afraid to niche down. So niche down, focus on one thing, whether it's veterans, first-time home buyers, Spanish-speaking community, I-10 loans, whatever it is, 55 and over community, which is an underserved community and is a gold mine. And I'll be bringing somebody on to talk about that. Niche down as much as you can, because you have this scarcity mindset that you're going to lose out on a client and you end up losing everything because you don't have a focus and a target. So focus on a niche, put tons of content out about that niche to make it look like you're the authority, and focus on that. And then the last thing to end this podcast, because I told you it's important, be careful who you take advice from, okay? Even be careful listening to me, research me. Be careful who you take advice from, okay? Everybody can sound great. Majority, I think 90% of these systems that are out here, probably higher, are systems that will not work for you. They're broke realtors who can't get deals anymore. And they had a tiny bit of success and they want to teach you their system, which they probably learned off YouTube from somebody else. And they're just ripping off and duplicating, and they don't have real experience. One thing that sets me apart, I feel like, is because I have real marketing experience. Everybody that comes to our team, they don't get a cookie cutter marketing plan. I give them a custom marketing plan for them. Same thing that clients that work with us. You're not getting this cookie cutter system and you don't know how to make it work for your niche, for your business. So be very careful who you buy things from. Be careful who's calling themselves a guru and a marketing professional. Again, I'm a marketing professional turned real estate who happened to get into real estate, realtor. And also I am not the other way around. There's a lot of real estate agents that are turning into these marketing gurus, professionals. Please ignore them. Really do your homework. Just because you don't understand it and it looks amazing what they're offering doesn't mean it is. What worked for their market probably is not going to work for you, because your market's different, your experience is different, your personality is different, and those factors never get factored in. So be very careful what you spend. I see agents go blow $5,000 and I'm like, why? You don't even have anything set up. Why are you blowing that on this one little system over here that's not going to do anything for you? And it's just because they liked what it looked like. So be very careful who you take advice from, the things that you purchase, and really stay focused on your business one thing at a time. Keep it easy, I promise. If you are interested in partnering with me at EXP, there's the comments down below. You can also go to jacobshireman.com and click partner with me. Everything is on my website that I have. If you are listening to this podcast on something like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, please follow this, give this episode a like as well. If you can comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment on something that you would love me to cover that will truly help you in your real estate business. So again, thank you for watching. I'm super excited for this podcast, and any way I can help, let me know. You can book a consultation with me. We have a full service marketing company, and we can help you grow your real estate business, whether it's here at EXP with me or by working with me on coaching or my marketing company. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.